flowers. I mostly have my voice back now. But, oops. Wrong button. Don't worry about it. But yes, I mostly have my voice back now. But it gets tired very easily, so I'm gonna do one more day of whispering. And after that, hopefully tomorrow, I'll go back to talking like a normal person. It'll be great. You might hear hints of normal person talking here, but, yeah, I'm almost there. So, yesterday I realized, much to my horror, that when I do selections, things don't get mirrored. Because that's how selections work. They only let you paint in the selected area. And I only selected one side, so naturally, only things on one side got painted on. So now I have to go back and put my nice little white tips on the other side here. And it also means that I'm gonna have to do the couple layers of shadows that I want to do on both sides separately. So I went ahead and just got rid of my mirror tool there because might as well drop all pretense that I'm gonna be able to use it. Cause that ain't happening. It ain't. Very sad. But here we are. So I'll just go ahead, do this part here. Then I can go and do the couple of layers of shadows that I want. Fortunately, this part, not too time consuming. The part where I do the shadows, though, probably going to be very time consuming. But I'm determined to finish the flowers today, and frankly, I do not think I will have much trouble doing so. I think all will be well, and today will be the day that I finally finish the flowers. It'll be great. Oops. But first, just gotta do this part on this side because otherwise it'll be weird. And besides, doing this makes everything look nice. So I want to do it. I want to make everything look really nice. Everything will be great. Thus says me. Unfortunately, I did do some without selections. So there are a lot that already have their little light tips. So I just gotta fill in the rest. Just gotta finish up the rest. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to being able to talk like a normal person again. That'll be a good day. Never been a fan of whispering, if I'm being honest. Don't know why, but I don't like doing it. I wouldn't call myself an especially loud person in real life, but I wouldn't call myself especially quiet either. I'm sure some people would think of me as quiet because I don't talk very much. That's just because I don't talk when I have nothing to say. So, I guess some people mistake me for quiet based on that. No, my voice is pretty loud. And I'm generally pretty okay with using it when I want to. So, it feels weird to be whispering when I have stuff to say. this hard. Just one of those things. But I'm getting down to the last few here. So, soon it'll all be done. Maybe. I am quite happy. I was fine. Background elements to be a little time consuming. I know this is technically foreground, but whatever. The non-character elements. I tend to find them a little time consuming. But I think it has less to do with them being like foreground or background or anything, and more with just the things that take up a lot of space and are in prominent places on the picture. I like to draw them very carefully, very nicely. So it takes a while. It is, how should we say, what it is. The good news is, today the weather is good. So after stream today, I finally get to take my daughter to the park. It has been so long. So very long. So, she's already excited. And that makes me happy too. She's very cute. Very cute when she gets excited. I'm happy I can take her and let her go socialize with some other kids. When I made the decision to have children, I thought really, really hard about what skills I wanted to impart on them and what I thought was really important. And when it came down to it, I determined that social skills are probably one of the most important things. So I'm always happy to have an opportunity to let her go out and have fun. Go talk to other kids. Flex those social muscles and let her learn all the things. So that hopefully growing up she'll get along well with people and will be able to get what she wants. Oh. Got the white tips. Now it is time to go back to the top. Get my shadow color again. Where's a good shadow color? There we are. And go back and shade all the flowers. I'm just sitting here like, oh no. But it's fine. It'll look really good. It's worth it. But yes, I determined that I really, really wanted my kids to have good social skills, so I try to get out and let them go practice as much as I can. It's pretty funny actually, because before I had kids, I basically spent all my time indoors. It was pretty hard to get me to go outside. I never really liked going outside. There's just not very much I like to do out there, and inside I get to do all kinds of cool things like draw. because I do digital, I can't really do that outside. But man, my kids get me to go outside like all the time. All gone from basically being a hermit to being dragged to the park every day. But you know, it's fine. It's fine, I can deal with it. God, there's so many flowers. Alright. Well, here we go. I really should learn the shortcut for the magic wand. But I don't actually know it off the top of my head. I feel like there's a couple of things that'd be pretty useful to make some nice shortcuts for. I'd probably speed this up a little bit because having to just go through and click on everything is actually pretty slow. I think about these things a lot. Because I do think that I've reached the point in my art skills where figuring out how to speed things up is also pretty important. So that this way I can do more things, draw more stuff, get more done. Alright, I think I'm just gonna do the right side first. Then I'll come back for the left. Man, I really like the way they look. Like, look at the difference between this one and like some of the flower here or here, or this guy and this guy. The difference is surprisingly huge. I really, really like the way these little gradients make the style look. It is wonderful, and it makes me very happy. It really does. But this is also why I can't necessarily use this to draw comics. Even though thinking about art styles for my comic is what inspired it. And I would really, really like to do something with it. It takes me too long. So I'm gonna have to come up with a simplified version for comic purposes. And then maybe do stuff like this for important scenes and cool stuff. But we'll see. I still got a lot to figure out. And I've got a lot of time to figure it out because I haven't even finished writing the story yet. I've seen a lot of people that try to write the story and draw the comic at the same time. I ain't doing that. God, just trying to get all the drawings done sounds like it'd be hard enough on its own. I can't imagine doing that while trying to figure out where the story's gonna go to. Sounds terrible. I gotta cough for one moment. But yeah, genuinely, that sounds incredibly difficult. So I'm writing the story first. I have the whole story written. I may not have the whole script perfected or anything. Maybe I'll go back and do some editing before I start drawing. But I want basically all the major decisions made. I want to know where I'm going before I start drawing any of this. Legit, I cannot imagine trying to do work necessary to draw this many pictures this quickly, all while trying to come up with the story as well. Just sounds completely impossible to me. But it's okay, I've been pretty happy with my progress writing the story, so I'm still open to have a solid draft by the end of the year. And I think I can make it. Because it is going well. And I now know the shape of it all. So now it's just a matter of kind of refining the form and actually figuring out a lot of story beats and stuff. Art is hard, man. If there is one constant truth in this world, it's that art is hard. Art is hard, and I ultimately have no idea what I'm doing. So I've gotta still try to figure it out. Okay. This is my first story of this magnitude as well. Pretty much all the other writing I've done has been for, like, role-playing and stuff, which is a whole different beast. I'm not just improvising and derping around with friends anymore. I'm trying to write an actual story, and that feels way different. It's a lot harder. I am in complete control of everything, and I'm terrified. It's honestly really overwhelming, because when role-playing and stuff, like, all I need to know is a lot about my character, that, like, even then, I only have to know enough to write the first thread. From there, I can just kind of make decisions on the fly, and it's fine. Because I'm not trying to write anything special or anything, I'm just derping around, having a good time. And in role-playing, my character is all I'm really responsible for. But here, I make all the decisions. And it's rough, bad. Having complete control is extremely scary. Knowing where the story's gonna go, or at least having an idea of where I want it to go, and actually having to figure out how to get it there, also very scary. So today, Planckera muses about writing in an art stream. But you know, that's fine. Because I do many things. And I like talking about them all. I've thought about doing writing streams before, but honestly I have no idea what they'd look like, so I probably won't. I definitely cannot talk and read or write at the same time. Maybe I could learn, but I definitely can't do it yet. I mean, yeah, definitely possible I could learn, because when I started streaming, I could not talk and draw draw at the same time either, and now I find it pretty easy. Back then, I was just kind of streaming to my friends over Discord. This is before I made my model. In fact, I streamed a lot of making my model to them. That was one of the things I streamed over Discord. So yeah, I'm not sure how that'll work out. I do want to do some programming streams though. I do. I actually have some ideas for how I'm gonna do that. So you might see a bunch of different things coming up. While I try things and see what I think is fun to stream. My husband and I have been planning a kind of Metroidvania factory builder hybrid. It sounds kind of weird when I say it, but the idea sounds cool as hell, and I'm super excited for it. I don't have anything that's ready to be programmed yet, but I was thinking about just derping around with the camera and whatnot. Doing some basic platforming stuff, seeing what feels good there, and maybe starting to get the basis for it started, so this way I'll have some stuff going by the time it's time to actually start making it. So, that's coming too. And I've been wanting to learn a little bit more about animation and cool stuff like that. So, might do some work there as well. Got too many things I want to do, man. I don't have time for it all. I'm so sad. Okay, I don't think this needs any gradient shadows. Let's see here. I'd like to do more stuff in Enoji 2D too, but with the new version coming eventually, I haven't been super inclined to do so since it's a little bit unstable right now. But in the next week or so, I'm kind of hoping to get a nice showcase of the model of Shalom that I built. Just do something with that. I hadn't done it yet because I hadn't really had any ideas for how to properly showcase it. But I think I have some ideas now, so I'll probably make a video about that. Wait, no, this one's on top. Yeah, you don't need a gradient. Yeah, these ones don't need gradients. Okay, I misread. That's fine. Let's work. I'll take it. Gosh, there really are just so many flowers. It never ends. But today I'm very determined to completely finish them. No, Well, maybe not completely. Like I said. Well, I said at one point a while ago that I'm not sure if I like all the flowers being at the bottom. I kind of liked it for a little while, and having it all symmetrical made sense while I was still drawing it, because it meant that I only had to draw as many. But I've been thinking about changing it. In fact, I find it very likely that I will. Very, very likely. So maybe I'll experiment with that today, but at the very least, I should have all of my flowers and stuff drawn today. And we'll see if they need any additional work after. I think that guy's fine. This guy doesn't really need a selection. Just want a little bit of shadow on him. There we go. But at the very least, adding gradients like this, although a little bit tedious and time consuming, it's very, very easy to do. Super duper easy. So I do feel like it goes pretty fast. It's like, look, I'm almost to the bottom. On one half of them. Pain. But now I feel like it's going pretty well. I feel like a lot of things are going pretty well. Life in general, going pretty well. Okay, I think that's good. So where I'm deciding to put the gradients is basically based on where the petals overlap each other. And just putting a little tiny shadows where I feel like the petals overlap. Oh shit, I put that one in the wrong layer. Definitely can't have that. Cannot do that. But yes, I'm just putting them where the petals overlap slightly. Because I think it makes them look a little nice. Just a little bit nicer. And I think that's the only place that really needs the additional little gradient. Just where the petals overlap slightly. And I'm trying to keep it, the gradation very smooth. So I don't want it to make it look like a true cast shadow or anything. Just like there's a little hint of shadow there. I think it adds to the stained glass effect and looks really nice. So it's staying very, very see the difference. And I think when I zoom out after getting this half, you will too. As you compare the half that I've done with the half that I have not done, you'll see the difference there. I like showcasing things like that, just how big a difference these tiny, tiny little details can make. And why I go through the time and the effort to put them in. I'm also going through and selecting multiple petals. Just because I think it speeds things up a little bit. As long as they're not next to each other, I can get away with it. It's falling asleep already. There we go. Let's see here. Did I get all the ones over here? It looks like it. Yeah. Okay. Over here now. And look. Already at the bottom. Time consuming, perhaps. A little bit painful. Yeah, a little. But it ain't that bad. And the effect is nice. I do need to streamline this though. Find some shortcuts I can use. Because I have to go into the menu and click on gross selection every time is pretty annoying. It really is. But that is a job for future me. The me that tries to do things off stream. The me of right now will deal with the wider inconvenience. These subtle gradients, it's fantastic. Love them so much. Man. But there's so many flowers. It's the halfway point. I scream internally. And perhaps slightly externally too. Okay, I think that's fine for that one. That one's pretty small, so I don't think it needs a lot of detail. Okay. Getting into the final clumps here. Let's go. Let's see how do I want to do this. Guess I'll start here. think whispering makes me a little bit phlegmy. Unfortunate. Just trying to think of all the things I plan to do next after I do this. Now that my mind has wandered away to much of the other things I'm working on. See, that's what my brain does. When I'm doing something kind of rote like this, it just starts thinking about other things. Other things I'm gonna do. What I plan to do for the rest of the day. It decides it wants to go live in the future. I wouldn't say that's a good place for a brain to be, but what can you do, right? Can you do indeed? Alright, let's see here. I think I want a little bit more shadow on that one. Just because it's underneath this petal. And I think before I do the big one here, I'm gonna go do this guy. Because I can. No particular reason, but you know I have to do the ball eventually, so this is fine. I've also been considering what to draw next, since this one is getting close to completion. At this point, I've basically made all the big decisions that I'm going to. So it's given me lots of room to just think about other random stuff, and I have thoughts. And I did. Ah, shoot. Did that the wrong layer. I really hope that I did not do that on some of my other layers, but if I did, it is too late now. When it comes to what to do next, I have ideas, and I do look forward to sharing them. I've got to do some more science with you guys. Try to figure some stuff out. Hopefully do some interesting things. May your life always be full of interesting things. These ones I'm just gonna lightly do manually because it's fine. They're very, very small. Very, very small. Now, strictly speaking, I could have done both sides at once by going back and forth rapidly and selecting things on both sides. But that sounds like suffering, so I didn't do it. Now it is time to go up the other side, so let's go take a look at everything I just did. But yeah, look how much nicer the ones over here look compared to the ones over here. Just a little bit more to them. And they are lovely. Ah, it makes me happy. I think once I put the shadows on the purple ones, that's really gonna make it pop. But first, I'm gonna go and do the shadows on the other side. So we're gonna finish all the shadows on the pink one, and then I'll move on to the next. So just gonna work my way back up. But honestly, that wasn't so bad. It took about 45 minutes. I did that on the wrong layer again. Ah! No, bad. Gosh, I hope I didn't put too many gradients on my line layer. That starts of having to switch back and forth so much. But it's just easy to get a clean selection from the line layer than it is the actual pedal. So I keep doing it like that, and sometimes I just forget to switch. Whoops. Now I meant to make a new selection. Man, brain just going on all kinds of autopilot now. Well, that's what happens when I'm just doing route rendering. There is just not very much to think about, and my brain gets bored. Listen to other things. I know that you can have OBS play a different sound on stream than what I'm listening to. So I should probably figure out how to do that. Because then I could listen to a bunch of other stuff. But it's fine. The nice piano music is nice. Okay. You know, the nice thing about doing this dense part first is that I know it's only going to get easier from here. So as I keep going up, there's just going to be less and less and less flowers. And I'll be free before I know it. Free from all the flowers that my past self thought was a good idea to draw. And I mean, strictly speaking, I agree with the decision, but still, I'm still internally screaming. Oh my god, why did I draw so many flowers? I'll complain about it every time, because I'm still just like, ah. Why do you have to be so pretty, flowers? Why you gotta be like this? Why can't you just be ugly so I can be lazy? Why do all the best things in life have to require so much effort? let's see here. So now back up to this big one here. What should I do with you? I don't think you'd actually need very many shadows because you don't have very many overlapping petals. They're all just kind of out doing their own thing. All nice and spread out. But there's a couple, so I'll put a few. Let's see. Let's see here. I'd call them thinking noises, but frankly, I'm not doing much thinking right now. Just gotta go in. Drink. So one thing I have noticed is that a lot of people that stream art tend to not show the entire process, and so they tend to skip the kind of slow and boring parts like this, and I do not blame them in the slightest. It's like they're there trying to be as entertaining as they can, and this part is kind of boring. But I like to show the entire process from beginning to end, even the kind of boring parts. I think it's important to see. So I gotta say, those of you out there that wonder if you take too long rendering, or if rendering is supposed to be kind of painful, and that sometimes it takes a while to go through things, and whether or not you do anything wrong, nah, you're not. This is what it is. You just gotta go through it. If you want to draw something complicated, you're gonna draw complicated stuff. It is what it is. No way around it. But this is exactly why I like showing the entire process. Because sometimes I think people can have misconceptions about what actually making art is like, and that it should be easier than it is. But no, art is hard. Art is really, really hard, man. And it always will be. So that's why I just go through in kind of a cyclical fashion and do all these little details that I think are necessary in order to get the effect that I want. And it takes a pretty long time. And I'm sure that there's been times where it looks like the flowers are done, but then I go back and do another thing. And trust me, if you look at the stream where this piece was, a couple of streams ago, or even last stream, where I had all the colors down and everything was neat, and just all that good stuff. And you compare it to what it looks like now. It does look better now. That's another nice thing about having permanent streams where I just record everything. You can go back and compare it to old versions and see the difference. Because for me, the difference is very clear. Very, very clear. But you can always go back and directly compare for yourself. And if you think I am being excessive with some of the little details I'm putting on things, then that can also inform how you want to make your own art. And maybe you just want yours to be a little bit simpler. Just because because you don't see the value in some of the details that I'm adding. And that is fine. I also do, you know, extremely simplistic styles. I like my minimalism too. What I'm doing here is actually something in my head I'm like, ah, yes, this is where it's different from a lot of my minimalist styles. This is something that's different. Oops, wrong layer. Something to differentiate it from some of the other styles I can draw. So it might also be why I think that these things make a big difference. So, something that I think can improve your own art and sense of style is very much just looking at what other people are doing and what you like about it and what you don't like about it. And then figuring out why you like this and how you can incorporate it into your own art, or why you dislike this and how you can incorporate that idea. Basically, the anti-version of that idea into your own art. Actually, I think we should pull these together. Using your eyes and understanding what works for you and what doesn't, I think is key to figuring out what you want to do stylistically. Super important. Because that's what I did here, and one thing that I noticed in some of the art that I looked at that did some of the things that I wanted to try to do with this style was I noticed that they used lots of subtle little gradients. So that's why I tried it here in her hair, actually, and I really liked it. So now I'm continuing with that idea in all these flowers, and I will also do it on her clothes. Because I didn't make heavy use of gradients in my first attempt at the style in my header image for my channel. I used a few, but now I'm using a lot more, and I do like it. I like it a lot. But that was just because I got the idea to try it from looking at what other people were doing. And when you're new and you don't have a good sense for what you like and what you don't, I think it's a good place to start, and you probably have a worse sense for it than you think you do, because otherwise you would not be concerned about style at all. It would just happen naturally. Because you'd just be drawing what you like stylistically already. Oops. But you'll be amazed at how bad our brains are at seeing things, or understanding what we want, or stuff like that just seems super basic. Our brain is actually pretty bad at it. Absolutely terrible. It's embarrassing. sometimes seeing it can make a huge difference. It's also why people tell you that you want to write a book or design houses, make gardens, eat cakes, whatever it is that you want to do, that you go and consume similar media yourself. So if you draw, look at art. If you write, read books. If you want to make comics, read comics. If you want to decorate cakes, eat cakes. Or at least look at cakes. If you want to make a nice garden, go look at nice gardens. Go see it. Think about it. Understand it. Your ability will grow. Which also means that you have full permission to sit around and watch anime if you want to learn how to draw. Just look at it. Or play video games. Look at it. Look at it closely. Look at the characters. What do you like about their designs? What do you dislike about their designs? Look at the story. What do you think about what's happening? How do you feel about the characters? All these things will help you. But you can't just sit there and passively consume, you gotta think about it. You gotta think about what they're doing, what they're accomplishing. My husband and I decided to rewatch Madoka Magica. And it was still really good. Dude. I thought about some of the storytelling techniques and stuff that they were using for my own comic and whatnot. And God, I could still hardly believe that anime is only 12 episodes long. So much happens in those 12 episodes. There is no wasted space. None whatsoever. No extraneous characters. Everything is just... it's there for a reason. And it's kind of incredible. Just how completely tight that story is. There's not a single second of runtime that could be replaced. Or taken out. And I was struck just by how well everything was set up, despite being so short. I've read a few short stories where a lot of the feelings of the characters felt overblown, or like it hadn't been earned. In both shorter stories and longer stories. But even though that anime is so short, every single feeling, every single action felt reasonable and justified. So, it was pretty awesome. There's been some other creators that can do that kind of thing in very, very few words, and I'm always super impressed by them. Like, one that comes to mind is Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale. The way that he can make you interested and care about his characters in like 3-4 minutes of dialogue, and that you just completely understand the character from that, and that the characters are still very much interesting. I always thought it was pretty incredible. That was what drew me into Undertale more than anything. Just how the heck did he do that? So, maybe I'll go back and look at Undertale sometime too. And just try to understand how did this author manage to draw you into each individual character, into the world that he created so quickly and effectively. This dude feels like black magic to me. But I'd like to try to learn a little bit more about it, so that hopefully I can bring some of those ideas into my own writing. Because I know that it's something that I really like. And I have observed it through consuming various media that did it really well. And also consuming lots of media that did it really badly. Whether it be shorter stories that just... I felt like the characters felt about each other felt a little bit rushed. Or longer stories where, for whatever reason, the feelings of the characters just didn't hit right, and it didn't feel justified. What that comes to mind where I feel that is the webcomic Noblesse. I didn't finish it. I read quite a lot of it though. I think I read something like somewhere between 200 and 300 chapters. But in general, I just found it kind of dull. And I still don't know the reason, so I can't possibly describe it. But for whatever reason, the characters' feelings for each other just felt totally unearned. Where the other, wanted to rate them as being close, but they never felt close to me. And they never felt like they should care as much as they do. Or that the method of caring felt a little bit random to me. I might actually go back and reread parts of it, even though I didn't really like it very much. Just so that maybe I can understand a little bit better why this is the case, and how to avoid it in my own writing. I'm using writing for my examples here because I am a baby writer. I'm very inexperienced. So going through and looking at what other people are doing still gives me lots of insight. And there we go, the little shadows are done. Time to go do some shadows of the purple parts, heck yeah. Alright, but first I gotta pick a color. So I'd like to do that. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna change my brush to multiply. Do I like that color? That seems like a pretty good color, yeah. Maybe a little bit darker. Okay, I got a color. Now I can go through and do the same thing again. Go all the way around. And dust all of this with gradients. It'll just be a dusting. Oops, wrong layer. I did it again. Come on, Braid. You gotta think a little harder than that. Anyway, I'm probably not gonna hit every area. Like, this guy's gonna stay like this. These guys are gonna stay like this. But certain parts, especially if they're large, I think will benefit from having just little gradient. This one I think is fine, but I will put one here. Actually, I don't need a selection for that. Oh, yes I do. Dang. I was like, oh man, I can can just immediately mirror it on the other side. I cannot. Pain. I forgot that I can't draw on the big parts. Very important. Very important, I don't forget that. Oops, no. Select. Here we are. It's a very, very light dusting here. It also is the upside of being able to show which petals are on top. Little. No, I gotta select it. I gotta. Yeah, but that's fine. This guy I will leave like that. So let's go to this guy down here. So I am selecting all these parts. But I will do a little bit to show that this petal is on top of this petal. So this one will get a little extra shadow right here. Even besides what the heck is here? Yes. But my voice is still, well, it's mostly back, but it gets tired easily, so that's a little funny. So, still doing whisper and stream. This one is fine like that. Okay. Let's see, what do I want to do with these ones? Okay, now I have an idea. I think I just want to do something simple with them like this. Keep it simple. There we go. These I think are fine. So are all those. So let's get down to this guy over here. And once again, I will show that this petal is on top of this one. And this guy is on top of this guy, so I'll add a little shadow here too. And that's going to be the main purpose of all the little gradients here. Just to show which petals are on top of others. There, Chickadee. This one, I think I actually will add a little extra shadow too. Because I kind of want it to go a little further back. So I'll just make this a little bit darker right there. No, my kids are playing upstairs. I just lost my voice. It's fine. No, just lost my voice. It's okay. It's coming back. I'm hoping I'll be able to talk normally again tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the next day. But it's mostly back. voice is pretty much back. I probably could talk normally today, but I don't know. It still tires up my throat a lot, and I was pretty sure that if I did, I wouldn't be able to stream for very long, and I was determined to finish all my flowers today. I wanted to finish these dang flowers. As it stands, I should have no trouble. So life is good. Did I draw so many flowers? It's okay. Almost to the bottom. Almost to the bottom. Unfortunately, I do have to go all the way around. As long as I'm coloring the selections. But it's okay. Almost to the bottom. I might need to go back and smooth some of these out, though, if I'm being honest. Like, here, it's a bit too harsh. So, I'm actually gonna take my smudge tool and just fix that. There we go. There we go. I suppose he'll have to play with something else then. Okay. Now then, yeah, it's another area where now I can very clearly divide some of these petals up a little bit more. I want to keep their colors a little bit more similar. I do not want a lot of detail on the purple flowers because they're supposed to be kind of in the background. And as things go further into the background, their details become less clear. That is just kind of how we see. So I don't want a lot of color variation here, just a little bit. My hair is drawn. It always looks like this. It's not gonna change unless I draw myself new hair. And well, someday I would like to draw myself a new model. I have not done so. It probably won't for quite some time. Yeah, there's stuff down here that I want to change, so made it to the bottom. Heck yeah. So now I just gotta get these last couple. Actually, you know what? I can make this easier on myself. Gotta go ahead and select on the other side too. Cause like, I'm already right here, it's all good. I'll just do both these sides at once. Strictly speaking, I could have done this all along. It's just they're so far apart. Each half. That scrolling back and forth to select both halves at once would have been a pain. And I don't think it would have actually saved me any work. So I didn't want to do that. Yeah, this looks really nice. I like it. It makes me happy. Take away my mirror. I don't like to have it on when I am not explicitly using it, because if I forget about it in an inopportune moment, I'm gonna have a bad time. Because things will be mirrored when I don't want them to be. Once again, I'm finding this a little bit too harsh. So I'm gonna go take my switch tool and just go and make those little bits nice and smooth. There we go. Forgot this part. Okay. Now I just gotta go all the way back around. But this is the last gradient thing I plan to do. So after that, I will be able to draw symmetrically again. So I will only have to draw half. Oh, it's a relief. Because man, this stuff is time consuming. It takes a while. It takes a while. And it's fine if it's not perfectly symmetrical anymore. I get the feeling that my final version of this will not actually be symmetrical, so it's fine. All is well. Just gotta get through it all. It's so much. I drew too many flowers. Send help. So nice. They look so nice. I like them so much. I really do. They're fantastic and I love them. Why must I love my very inconvenient creations? in here that are too small for me to get a proper selection. So I just gotta go over them manually. But that's fine, I can do that. Man. I think what I want to do next will also be a little bit time consuming, but I think it'll look really nice if I do it right. Like, really, really nice. I just want to add some extra details to the petals. Some extra little lines. And I have been looking forward to trying this for a couple of days now. I just had to get everything else prepared first. So, hopefully I'll be able to do that shortly. I don't think it'll take me too long to get through all the petals again. It's like there's a lot, but doing each one is really fast. So it's fine. It's totally fine. I do not think it'll take that long. Select properly. So let me just go fill him in directly. This one I think I'll leave like that. So I guess it's time to go select this guy here. So now one thing I do with each of these, every time I pick a new group of petals to draw here, I always grow the selection afterward. And that's just so that the edge of the selection will cover the entire area that it needs to be selecting. Whereas if I don't do that, it typically leaves a couple of pixels behind. And I'll have kind of an ugly, choppy edge. And I can't have that, so I grow the selection to make sure it gets all of the pixels that I want to do. Very important. Very, very important. I guess that's fine. Oh man, already past the halfway point. See, like I said, it was a little bit tedious, a little bit time consuming, but I'll get there. I'll get there. Always do. No, that's too dark for this. Just want to keep it kind of subtle. There's a couple of spots in there that are just too small. They're just too tiny. So I just gotta do it without the selection and be very careful. That does happen sometimes. last few here. Last few. And then all the shading on the flowers will be done forever. Forever. It'll be great. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so looking forward to being done. Just done. It'll be great. I do unironically like drawing flowers, but it is always nice when it's done. Because it's a lot. Like, legit, it's a lot. So finishing something that felt really overwhelming when I got started always feels pretty good. Alright, there we go. That's all of them. Let's see how it all looks. Oh yeah, that looks so much nicer. Look at him. Okay. I lied, there's one more thing I want to do with the purple ones. I want to glaze them with a little bit of pink. Because now that they have a little bit of shading on them, the purple is a little bit strong. But I'm gonna grab just every purple area, every single one. And I'm gonna do both ends all at once. Some of the smaller ones are gonna get left out. But that's okay. So I'm gonna go all the way around with my selection tool. Grab every single purple bit. Every single purple bit. Some of them are just too small, but that is okay. They're so small that no one will notice that they're a slightly different color. The purple looked fine before I put the little gradients on it. But now I just feel like it's a little bit too purple. So that's gonna get one more additional gradient to make it a little bit more pink. And this I can at least do symmetrically as long as I select every single one. There we go. Some spots might get missed, but I still think that is fine. They will be small. Oh, and I missed a line here. How did I do that? Okay, I know what to do. I'm gonna select the inverse. This is basically cheating. Okay, mirror on. There we go. So now the line is there and it should exist on the other side too. Okay. It's now the mistake has been corrected and I can go back to selecting all the purple areas. Man, how the heck did I miss that like 5 times? Brains are weird. Somehow, with all the times I went through and did stuff with all the flowers, I just never saw it. Just gonna go back and make sure I didn't miss any. I had the feeling that I did, and indeed I was correct. Yeah. After seeing something like that, I really wanted to make sure I didn't miss any. And I just had this uncanny feeling that I was forgetting something. Okay. Back down I go. So here is half selected. Now I'm just gonna go up the other half. All the way around one more time. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. Looks like I'm about at the halfway point. And my brain is still thinking about all the little details that I would have put on here. I was very excited to go to the next phase here, but still just got one little thing I gotta do because I am no longer satisfied with the colors. And I'll probably have to go around one more time to touch it all up. That's just one of those things where it is what it is. If I want something to exist in a certain way, I gotta make it happen. No way around it. Alright, here we are. Went all the way around. So, grow the selection again, and I'm gonna take the shadow color here. And I'm just gonna glaze them a little bit. Just so that they're a little bit pinker. I did like the purple, it was a nice contrast, but it wasn't quite working for me anymore. Some spots will get to stay purple, but most of these are just gonna turn pink. I missed one. Okay. But I'm gonna be a little inconsistent with how pink they are, so hopefully it'll create a little bit of visual interest. Alright. Yep, that's better. Alright, let's go back one more time. And just... I did it on the lines. Oh, that's so bad. I'm not sure if I can go back and fix that. Okay, good, I can. Phew. Okay, good, I noticed. Before my undo history forgot about it. that was very lucky. Extremely. Okay. I do it again. On the correct layer this time. Mild heart attack over. I assume it didn't sound nearly as shocking. Because I'm still whispering, but oh man, my stomach did a complete backflip there. Alrighty. So now I'm just gonna go manually correct a few areas. Most of the areas that were too small to handle the color change properly. And I just want to make sure that they're all looking good. So I'll give it a quick scan. If I don't notice it fairly quickly, then it's probably not that important. And you can see that even with the color change, they're still pretty purple. There's still some nice contrast going on. And it's pretty nice. And this part I can at least mirror properly, so I really only have to make the corrections on one side. And after this, I can finally do the tiny details I've been looking forward to, and I'm very happy and very excited. But I gotta make myself take my time. Can't let myself rush. Always important to get it all right. Alright, there we go. Looks good. Look at all those nice flowers. I like them. Alright. So I get the feeling that this might take a couple of tries to get right, so I'm going to do it on its own layer. And I'm going to zoom in to 100% here. Get one of the bigger ones and just brush it over with some thin lines. I like the idea, but I don't like that shape. I'm gonna go look at pictures of flowers again. One moment, please. What do their petals look like? How can I make them look nice and soft and delicate? This is one of those cases where I have a vision. And I just gotta try things until it all works out. Trying to get a particular type of line here. Yeah, something like that. Just better. But yes, that's the idea. Not quite. That's why I said it's probably going to take me a couple of tries to get this right. But I know what it is that I'm picturing. I just have to figure out how to make it. Something like that. I think that looks pretty good, actually. So just gotta be curvier about it. I can do that. It's not realistic, but it looks nicer like this. I don't think the purple petals are gonna get this. Yeah, that's too much for them. So this will only go with the pink ones. And this will finish off the petals. Just a nice little pattern like this. And at least I only have to do this on half of them. I do not have to go all the way around because I am not messing with selections here. Thank goodness. Is this visible when I zoom out? It is. Very nice. Okay. It's time to draw some happy squiggles. Then at the end, I'll see about drawing the stamen. flowers probably won't get very much, and I don't plan to put any on the pots at all. This is for open flowers, or mostly open flowers only. And it's not super visible on a lot of the lighter petals, but it is on the darker ones. So we'll take special care on the darker ones. Just make them nice and squiggly. Squiggles are fun. Make everything just a little bit more lively. Oh yeah, and I should make sure that they do not go outside the lines of all this. They exist only on the petals. They do not need to be anywhere else. This one's public enough that I'm actually just gonna not put any on that one. But this one's opening. This one's opening up to the world, so he gets some lines. Yeah, I can do this pretty quickly. Oh man. They're gonna be done. They're gonna be done. I will be free from flowers. Hooray. Very exciting. And I can tell you, the second I finish these, I'm gonna be like, oh man, I already missed drawing flowers. That's how it goes. Because like I said, I like drawing them. I do. That's why I always draw so many. That's why I draw so many all the time. On the big ones, I'm being a little bit more particular. Just because I do think that their placement matters a bit more. Their lines are a bit larger, and thus more visible. So they get a little bit of extra care. And it's not very visible in these super light areas, so they get less care. Maybe it's a bit rude, but I want to put my time and effort where it matters most. And if nobody's gonna see that detail, then, you know, what's the point in worrying too much about it? There are some details that people only see subconsciously, and I feel like that's what a lot of my gradient shadows are. Where maybe they won't consciously notice it, but there's just something, could be something about the drawing that just feels a little bit higher quality. Because I did that extra work. even if they can't pick out why. And I feel like that detail is one of those. You see this kind of thing a lot with animation. Because even super subtle movements can make a huge difference in the liveliness and feeling. I've seen it. I've seen people go step by step, adding just a bunch of tiny little animation details to their animation. And holy cow, the difference between the beginning and the end was astronomical. It was wild, man. Definitely one of the more wild videos that I've seen. Or when you take a VTuber model and show before and after physics. Or you go step by step in adding the physics. And just see how different everything looks by the time it's done. It's wild. You wouldn't think that a lot of those tiny details make a difference, but they do. It's crazy. Legitimately. I mean, I've always been a believer in details. But just seeing that, all the little things that you can do, and how small they are individually, but what happens when they all work together. It's amazing. Art is pretty amazing. It just, the level of mastery that you can put into things. Alright, look at that. Already almost to the bottom. See, it's the kind of thing that I knew wouldn't take that long in theory. But I figured that it would add a lot to these. Just make them look really nice. Just put a little bit more life into all the flowers. And it's like I already put a lot of effort into them, so why not go the final mile? Get everything look nice just the way I want it to be. Can't just stop halfway. Alright. Still got 2 more petals on this big old guy. Then I guess I should get the guys over here before I forget them. Can't forget those guys. That would be rude. They're all my little friends. I drew them all one by one. So I didn't for any of them to feel left out. These guys are pretty small, though. So they're not gonna get too many. Looks like I didn't miss any others. Alright, and this is the bottom. And I don't have to go all the way around. Heck yeah. So this is the end. This is the final stretch. I see it, the final flower. The end is in sight. That'll be done with all the flowers. Yay. Yay. Although, yeah, I was gonna see about stamen. I don't know about stamen, though. I'm gonna do a test. See if I like it. And if I do, then I'll go add it to the rest, but honestly, I don't expect it to look very good. I just don't think it matches with everything else I'm doing. I don't. So, I fully expect to try it and go, ew, and then move on. But I gotta try it. I gotta make sure. I'm also not entirely sure that what I'm doing here is fully correct, but I like it, so it's probably fine. Okay. I think this is the last big flower. Actually, did I get all the ones up top? I can't remember. Because I feel like I might have missed the other flower sitting on top. I will go check that after I finish up down here. Let's see, I did get all the flowers here. Oh no, I missed one. Missed this little guy right here. He is kind of a bud, but he's open enough that he gets lines. He gets lines, and even these little guys, these tiny little ones, they'll get a couple of lines. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll through real quick. Oh, I was gonna say just to make sure I didn't miss one, and I immediately find one that I missed. It's okay, that's why I check. This is why I check. Okay. Yep, all these got theirs. Yep, looking good. Heck yeah. Okay, and I did get that one. Alright, there we go. I think they're done. decide if I want to make this a little bit less bottom heavy. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and take a look at some of the other parts that I think are feeling less circular. I want to make her feel a little bit spinnier. So I'm going to go ahead and try to add some of that energy back. Then I also feel like, let me see, where's the frilly thing? Needs to be a little bit higher up. And I'm gonna hide her hair for a second here. This way I can see underneath. I'm gonna go ahead and erase a little bit around the sleeve here. Because I want to change where her elbow is. I thought her elbow was a little bit too low. There we go. And I'm hoping that this will make it feel a little bit more connected to her arm. Alright, let's go turn her hair back on. So now it's spinning a bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and spin the fan a little bit more too. As you can see now, it is covering part of her hat. And that was something that I wanted for perspective reasons. Okay. Now, the next thing I wanted to change in order to make it a little bit more spinny, I wanted this to come out and away from the side. I'm gonna have to redraw some things, but that's okay. But like this, and then the back. Also have to change a little bit. It's gonna have to come out like this. We'll go ahead and kind of attach it. I think I'm just gonna erase. There we go. But there we go. Now this has a little bit more spinning energy into it. But I don't think I'm quite done. Not quite done. I think I actually want to go a little further over. It's okay, that's the nice thing about art. You can change your mind. Try some things out. There we go. I'll go ahead and oh shoot, I still have... Ooh, that's bad. I just erased a bunch of stuff over there that I didn't mean to. Okay. It's okay, salvageable. I was worried that it was something that I did earlier, but no, it was something I did just now, so we're good. So that's why the mirror tool is dangerous. Why I try to turn it off the moment I'm done with it. Got dangerous tech here. Alright. Then I also wanted to lower her back arm a little. So this way it kind of goes back around. And we get a little bit more spinning energy. May everything be round. There we go. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to fix with her body. So now I'm gonna do my science with my flowers. I'm a little afraid of doing this, but with everything that I've been doing. But it's okay. If I don't like it, I'll just put it back. And certain things will almost certainly have to be touched up. It comes with the territory. let me scroll. Well, shoot. Okay, well, that's fine. I'll just add to the selection. And I'll do it in pieces. Till I get all the ones I want. Okay, so I think I'll go to about there. And layer, transform, mirror vertically. Kinda reattach them. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, I think that's mostly attached fine. And then I just need to move this guy that got off screen into a better spot. Okay, I'm gonna mirror this horizontally and rotate it into place. Alright. Then step 2. Do all these shenanigans. So I'm gonna gather a bunch of stuff down here. Up until... let's do right here. And I'm gonna rotate it and shift it this way. Alright, now to see if this feels rounder. Okay, so we got all my selections here. So this is original. This is new. I'm gonna go back and forth a few times. Stay nice and zoomed out so I can see everything. Very important. Original. Variation. Definitely prefer the variation. Yeah, I think this is a lot better. Alright, now I just gotta take the time to kinda put these pieces into place again. Some of them are overlapping now, so I will have to touch things up. But it's not the end of the world. It does unfortunately mean that I will have to do more flower work. I wonder how these got messed up. But yeah, touching things up tends to be pretty easy, so I'm not too concerned. Is everything where I want it? So yeah, now it has a little bit more rotational symmetry. And I think that's better. Okay. So now we do a little bit more cleaning. I'm just gonna go over everything that I drew and make sure it's all good. But trust me, doing it like this, way easier than trying to not have all the symmetry. Okay, so there's some stuff that's overlapping here. Yeah. see properly, so I had to go and erase some stuff. Hello there, Art. Doing pretty well. Getting close to the end of the flowers. So, I'm pretty excited. Got to do a bunch of really nice things with them, so now just going through, doing some final cleaning. They're almost done. Almost done. Very nice. And they look so good. I'm so happy. So good. I'm gonna go ahead and put my black background on so I can see a little better. Lost my voice. Currently, it's maybe most of the way back. But if I tried to talk normally, I think that my throat would wear out very quickly. So, I'm still just doing another day of whispering. Because I was determined to finish the flowers today. And they are indeed almost done. Just gonna have to break a few in order to do a thing. Alright, seems fine. I keep draw flower. Always draw flower. Gotta keep drawing them until they're done. But they are almost done. Actually, I think this guy needs to be a little bit larger. So let's try that again. There we go. That's a little better. But yes, the flowers are super fantastic, and they are so close to being done. Just had to do some stuff to make them feel more round, which involved a lot of rotation, and that it broke some things, but it's for the best. So I just gotta kind of touch some things up, and then they'll be done. It'll take a couple more passes, but once again, that is okay. Okay, there's that area. I think that's all good. I think here I'm gonna... I might as well just fix some of these things while I'm in the area. I was gonna save them for near the end, but it's fine. I can just fix them now. I'm gonna have to go back and alter some of the gradients too, because they changed a little bit. But yeah, it looks like most of them are pretty well intact. Oh, this area definitely got a little bit messed up. Let's see. Actually, how is that supposed to go? I see. Okay. So yes, this one is on top. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's okay. I'll be able to interpret that. All is well. There we go. Okay, and here just got a little cut off. So we'll go and put the tip of this flower back. And it's no trouble at all. All nice and intact. Okay, this guy got cut off. I think for this one specifically, it'll actually just be easier to reattach the piece that got cut off. There we go. And I don't like the way this one looks, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move him somewhere else. You can just go sit there. So now I'm just gonna make sure that all the flowers here are intact. I'm very pleased to see that it looked like most of them did not break. Oh, this guy got pushed off the edge though. Can't do that. This is a transparent image. I can't have flowers falling off the edge. So come on back, guys. There you go. Cool. There's just a spot here, it looks like. Go and just get a few ingredients that look nice. I guess you already are mostly this color, huh? There we go. Brush those on there. Anything else I feel like I need to fix? You are missing your white tip. I remember. And you also need your extra lines. And I think this is stuff that just needs to be cleaned really quick. Oh, there. Is that just a fall of the blossom? I guess so. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay, well that wasn't so bad at all. I don't think that I really need many corrections. Let me just go make sure that I'm still happy with the gradients I put in. Nope, there are a couple of messy spots. Huh, what are you from? What are you from? Okay, apparently there's some residue on the branches there. How funny. Okay. Yeah, but I think all the gradients still look good. So fortunately, rotating everything did not break stuff. So I got the benefit of symmetry while still being able to, I don't know, shift it all in the end. So, huzzah. I'm very happy with it. I think these flowers look fantastic. And now they are done. Forever. And everything looks very round. So there we go. Flowers are done. Flowers are done. Next time, maybe I'll work on Yuyuko some more. Maybe I'll do the branches. I don't know. That's up to me. And whatever my mood is. It would be nice to get the foreground done, though. But I like it. I think it's very pretty. Basically everything I wanted it to be. So, hey. But I do think that this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. And I hope you're as happy with it as I am with my flowers, and perhaps as relieved. I will see you all tomorrow.